right, gate is down. Rodney headed for that Stacy Cole shot. Who's it going to be? Oh, man. Looked like it might have been Brayton Johnson on that number 11 machine, but holy cow, there was a lot of bumping and grinding going on in there.
Carson Milliken will get credit for that on the number 67 machine, yeah.
Oh, there's the 11 outside, so he did just get pushed a bit wide.
67 dropping back a few spots, it looks like, out of Surprise, Arizona. I was hoping to get the whole shots just so I could say, surprise! A lot of riders off the track coming through the Ten Commandments section there, is trying to get it all sorted out. As we pointed out a lap ago in their 65, or excuse me, a race ago in the 65 cc's, we saw some of those riders, 7 riders wide coming down through the Ten Commandments. Now into Storyland, backside of the racetrack, things are really starting to heat up in that first and second place position, and then a real tight one between third, fourth, and fifth. And then, of course, 6, 7, they're all tight through that top 10 as they come around now for this first lap complete.
So did I see the number 18 now into the lead?
May have.
That would be Landon Gordon if that's the correct shot I got right here. I believe it is. So Landon Gordon working his way into the lead early in lap number 1.
A long line of speedsters. Great Uncle Flash.
Yep. Absolutely.
Using the speed force out here. Here we come into the heart of this one. Look at this. They are nearly side by side coming into this Bermuda Triangle of last turns. It's still up for grabs as to who's going to be your leader. Gordon trying to make things happen out there, but not going to happen. Not this time around. It's going to be Luke Falzer, then Landon Gordon. Falzer's had a pretty phenomenal week this week, and well, anytime he goes, he has a phenomenal time. But but also ran into some folks that were the Cottages, I believe, down to see Mr. Falzer here this week. Big Billy and Little Billy, which both boys are pretty big boys from the PA.
No secret, I've got a relationship with the Falzers. Had a relationship with the Falzers for years. Love the kid, love the family. They got a good mindset about it. I like the way they approach their program. And Luke, like you say, anywhere he goes, man, he can be a threat. I know he got, I believe, a 5th earlier in his other moto. I believe that was the 85 division. But right now, it's all about the number 46. Landon Gordon had a pretty good lead as they come through the beach. And Luke started using some inside lines, and out front he goes. But look at Drew Adams. Drew Adams really starting to put some burners in right now. Looks like he has picked up the pace quite a bit. And look who's right behind him, Thor Powell.
Right, Thor bringing the hammer with him, it looks like. The number 50 in 4th. Braden Johnson back in the number 5 spot. Logan Mortberg, Alvin Hillian in 7th. Dominic Stallings in 8th. Greer Moore, the 69 in 9th. And Carson Milliken rounding out your top 10. That was the rider that got the whole shot. And you see how quickly he got shuffled around. Liam Aloff. Did they say he was the son of Joe Aloff that was a former pro motocross rider himself and obviously a graduate here from Loretta Lynn's? I think they did. 72 Gavin Betts is in 12th. Jaden Searles in 13th. Nicholas Stefanik in 14th. Jonathan Yelton in 15th. Nathan Abbott in 16th. Kate Bradley 17th. Kai Berg in 18th. Tyler Mollett in 19th. Jesse Turner rounds out the top 20. That was after the end of lap number 1. And there'll be a lot of changes coming around here at the end of lap number 2. And here they come now. Not change in the front as Luke Falzer once again holding on to this lead out there as he's got landed back to the number 2 spot. Drew Adams and Thor Powell should be coming around next. And they do, but the gap has opened up a little bit. Now Powell feeling pressure, I believe, maybe coming in from Hillian.
Yeah, that gap has definitely gone to the advantage of Drew Adams. He's going to put his head down now. He's going to go after Gordon. He can see him. They're in the same section. He definitely knows where he's at. Right now, though, the camera back on the number 46 machine. Luke Falzer just railed that berm. I mean, never let the throttle off. That's how you corner.
Well, I tell you, the track has got some distinctive lines. There's no doubt about it. This is a rough racetrack, and whenever the camera starts indicating that it's a rough racetrack, you can only imagine how rough it really is. The camera never actually does a hill climb or rut justice on television, I don't think.
Ever. You look at Mount Martin on TV from Millville, you look at Mount Martin, it's a pretty steep hill. You know,
right.
Yeah, go walk it. You can reach out, you can lean forward and touch the hill in front of you.
Right.
Okay,
and it doesn't look like that on TV by no stretch. But here it is. Luke Fowler making this place look as smooth as a highway around it, but he's still got Gordon, Adams, Powell, and Hillian coming around. Powell looks like he might have shaken, or did Hillian get around? I think he might have shaken Hillian. Hillian was riding the TM. Right ahead of him, Powell is Adams on the 33, and that Husqvarna of Landon Gordon is ahead of Adams right now in second.
Yeah, so we kind of see the pursuit of Adams right now. He's chasing Landon, but man, oh man, look at this.
Powell.
Oh, Thor just pushing that bike beyond his limits right now. You can see that thing flexing through the corner. Off the track, on the track. I mean, Powell going at it right now. That was a costly one right there, though. He gave up about 3 spots.
Yeah.
Or about 3 bike lengths.
Yeah, and Thor Powell getting to be pretty big on that bike. I know I've been watching him ride a lot this year in GNCC. He's been riding a lot of Grand National cross-country racing and has been winning some overalls and vying for overalls. And at the level and speed that he's racing at out there, you know, I'm going to tell you right now, he's got the fitness level out here. So if he can keep this pace and keep that pressure being applied, if Drew wavers any toward the end of this moto, Powell's going to be able to just capitalize on that, his speed and endurance in the end.
Yeah, he's a big, strong kid. Like we said, we know he puts in the work. We know he can do the GNCCs. And he's willing, you can see, to push the bike. He's willing to cross that line to catch Adams right now.
And he's used to riding across that line out there in the woods amongst the trees. And he's got a little wide open spaces out here, so it could be a little more interesting. Look at this. Fowler now may be starting to feel some pressure from Landon Gordon. Gordon was 1.5 seconds back. They turned nearly identical lap times a lap ago. But I believe this gap may be starting to tighten up a little bit as Gordon really seems to be a little more aggressive here on lap number 4.
Yeah, it looked like Fowler might have tucked the end. When we were talking about Thor Powell, it looked like Fowler might have tucked the front end just a bit there, stood the bike up, and I can tell you what, Landon Gordon saw that, no doubt, and tried to capitalize on it.
Well, Alvin Hillian, the fastest rider on the track on lap number 2 at a 2:08.096. Hillian now solid in 5th. About 5 seconds back. We saw him that last time around with a 2:14, so I'm going to guess he made a mistake. And with a lap time like a 2:08, almost flat on that, I'm going to say watch out for 14. The number 14 might be a rider that we see toward the end of the race that we might not have been expecting to see. So I'm just putting that out there right now.
Well, there's a good point. When you look at that lap time, and also we saw a lot of these kids earlier in the day also talk about the desire to push forward. We know that out of the number 14, so want to keep an eye on that 5th place position. Here they come back around the beach. And Fowler and Gordon just about the same gap as last time around, of 1.5 seconds. Might be about a second right now. Gordon might have been able to shave a little bit off of it. Take a look at those lap times.
Yeah, just under a second, 0.951, a 2:08.955.
Gordon was faster.
Yeah. A 2:08.31 by 0.6 of a second.
Yep. I thought Fowler tucked that front end. He was able to close back up on him and not able to stretch it back out in that last half a lap.
Adams and Powell going at it. They're running in the 2:10 range, about 1.5 seconds to 2 seconds off the pace of Fowler and Gordon. The gap now just under 7 seconds between second and third, but don't let that fool you. The pressure is still being applied by Powell. Dominic Stallings about 11 seconds back with Logan Mortberg in 6th. There's Alvin Hillian now in 7th, 1 second back. So it looks like the fast rider on lap number 2 has really must have been all he had. At least he must have made a mistake, and whatever it is taking the wind out of his sails. But how about Jeremy Papani?
Yep.
Lap number 2, a 2:08.090. And Papani, the 75, is an 8th place ride right now. He's about 3/4 of a second behind Hillian, so we should see him get around Hillian, turning a 10-second faster lap. He's 5 seconds faster ahead of Mortberg and 4 seconds ahead of faster than Dominic Stallings. So I can expect to see him battling for 5th real soon.
Yeah, there's 10 minutes left in this one. When you're that much quicker than the positions ahead of you, we're still early into this thing. 4 laps, so he's not going to be battling lap traffic as well as the riders.
Oh, wow.
ahead of him.
Speaking of battling, and this is back at it again. Landon Gordon has pulled that gap to basically kneel. 0.951 a lap ago. He was 0.6 of a second faster. I'm going to say he might be even a little faster than that as he gets nearly underneath. They were side by side coming into the heart of this racetrack now and into the rollers, or excuse me, into the sweeper section, the Thor sweeper right around the Polysport pond, and they're going back and forth right now. Bowser back to the second place position as they come out of the final turn. They're side by side. Who's going to get credit for the lead on the lap? It's going to be the 18 of Landon Gordon making the pass and now making it stick as they head over the tunnel of Lost Love and into the billboard section of this racetrack.
Yeah,
they lost their love right there.
Yeah, those guys.
No love lost love, whatever. But the tunnel is it's over.
Absolutely used.
Heartbreaker right there.
The absolute edge of that track at the finish line. Fowler not able to triple into the lost tunnel of love.
Fowler, Adams, wow, 0.175. That's how. I mean, that's how close they were coming through there. But when they went over the tunnel and made that right-hander turn, it almost become pushing close to a second that Gordon was over Fowler. And you can see right now as they come out of the 10 Commandments and head through the red zone. And I'll tell you a little bit about that. What we got to we got a flagger that has been working here for nearly 20 years. I'm going to tell you that right now, 15 plus years. Every year, Red, who is a local guy, comes here. You know who I'm talking about, Red the flagger. He comes here. He comes about a month before the event starts, and he stays until it's over and everything's picked up and cleaned up. Sleeps in a tent on Boone Hill. That's where he wants to be. He has his own tent, sleeps on a tent in Boone Hill, showers in the shower houses, but that is what he does. And man, whether it's cold, whether it's hot, whether it's raining, whatever the case may be. But Red has been flagging at the end of the 10 Commandment sections for 15 years or so. So now it is known as the Red Zone. Yeah, so there you go.
Dig it. That's status, bro.
He's from the Waverly, he's from Humphreys County. He is from Humphreys County, yeah. I'm not sure where exactly, but somewhere in the county. He does not commute.
No, when he says we're going to camp at Loretta's, he means we're going to camp at Loretta's. Get it?
So
looks like that might be Jaden Series pushing his Kawasaki off the side of the track over there. Not sure. I believe that might be the 51 machine. Having a rough go of it, whoever that. Oh, that's not the 50. That's Thor Powell.
Oh, no.
To be honest with you, looking at the gear, I think that's Thor Powell pushing.
Yeah, I was going to say, Hillian back up the fourth. Where did number 50 go?
Yeah, that's Thor Powell when I look at the gear now.
Yeah, he's dropped all the way back to 37th place position right now. What a heartbreaker there. Bike ain't got enough for what that boy can throw at it, I guess. Going to need to get a stronger motor builder on that one. Now I tell you, this kid, he really is. He puts those machines through the ranks and he pushes them to their limits. And we saw that there in that moto with the racing that he was doing and the battling that he was doing. So take nothing away from Thor Powell. He may be out of this race, but that doesn't take him out of contention any time that the gate drops.
No, and he's going to bring that thing. He's going to push it himself up through the finish line, and not going to take any outside assistance. Got his head held high, doing it with pride right now.
And, you know, kids do that, and you see that, and oftentimes that comes from GNCC. You see that right there happen a lot in GNCC as well.
Just stopped and took a water from the spectators, splashed his face, and, here he comes to the finish line pushing his own bike.
That's pretty impressive.
Dude. Yep.
How about it? Put a round of applause for Thor Powell right there, folks. He really gave us a great ride, and certainly a lot of heart and a lot of effort. Heartbreaker for him that he likely won't get a championship in this mini senior class. That pretty much probably seals the deal on that, but he can certainly win our hearts before the week is over, that's for sure.
Right now, Landon Gordon, last time around, a 2:07.9 to the 2:09.8 of Luke Fowler. Drew Adams putting that number 33 up into the third position right now. He turned a 2:10.3. Alvin Hillian still turning quick laps. And Fapani, look at Fapani. He's still down in that 2:08 range, so he's got a little bit of time left. The gap, how far back to him? He's only a second and a half back, so he stands to pick up a possible couple positions here.
He's been the fastest rider nearly on the track almost the entire moto out there. turning those 208s in amongst all that traffic. He got a bad start, and he has had to be he's been trying to work his way up basically since the drop of the gate. Look at that, an 8.8 second lap time. Nathan Beerbaum, man, he's really throwing it out there. So a little different, but no, I think that still that Fapani has the fastest lap at a 2:08.090. No, actually, Luke Fowler has got a 2:07, and Landon Gordon on lap 5 kicked off a 2:06.795 in the heat of their battle. So they really picked it up quite a bit. These kids really know how to find some speed whenever it's necessary, it looks like.
Absolutely incredible. And like you said, now not as hot as we've seen, but starting to get a little hotter, getting into noon hour, getting into the 1:30 hour is what we're getting into, the afternoon hours. And these guys holding up well. I've seen some, oh my goodness, who was that? Somebody laying right in the middle.
14?
Might possibly be.
That was Alvin Hillen down.
Yep, wow. It was. Fapani almost tangled up with him as he comes by. Could have had 2 of our top 5 laying in a corner right there.
So Fapani going to pick up that 4th place spot. Hillen losing a couple of spots.
And we were talking about Fapani coming. He was running at 2:07. We were talking about him being on the move. There's that small mistake that he capitalized on. He put himself in good position.
Did not lose any time at all.
No.
Having a battle. Looks like it was the 66 of Dominic Stallings, who also has gotten around Alvin Hillen. So Hillen loses about 3 spots, I'm going to say, after that tip over. There he is on your screen in the number 14. Landon Gordon, Luke Fowler, Drew Adams, still your top 3. Drew Adams coming through traffic for that 3rd.
I think we're looking at a 2-lap board that'll be turning to a white flag next time around, or we'll be getting the 2-lap board here in just a few moments. Looking at our leaders out front now, the 18, Landon Gordon. Last time around, a 2:07.5. I mean, these are some blistering fast lap times here late in the moto right now. Fowler drops to a 2:10 that time around. Landon Gordon on lap number 8 sees a 2:09. 2-lap board is out now. We were expecting that 2:09, 2:10, 8 for Luke Fowler. The gap now 6.7 seconds. It's amazing how quickly it goes from nose to tail, basically, and side to side, side by side, to a 6.7 second gap. But I mean, that just shows you the intensity level they're riding at, because any little miscue, bobble, it costs you.
And later in the race, as you can see, the pace has picked up a little bit. They're a little more spread out. That might not be the case. Everybody's running faster earlier in the race, but right now, late, you can see the difference, the gap. It just builds and builds.
Have you not been impressed by that, though? I mean, the lap times, you expect to see the lap times faster, but whenever they're coming out and they're posting some of the faster lap times in the middle and toward the end of the lap time, that right there is showing me that this science of training is really working for these kids.
Absolutely. And you got to look who's training these kids today. Everybody from Johnny O'Mara on down, training these kids, teaching them racecraft. Every past champion out there has some riders in their camp.
So Landon Gordon, one more lap to go when he comes around this next time. And, real quick, just want to remind the Coaches Association dinner coming up tomorrow night at 6:30. Was talking with Lindsay Sheltema up there, or up here just a little bit ago. She came up and I was like, oh my gosh, is it? And then I got her name mixed up and I called her and her sister's name mixed together.
Yeah.
But anyway, Lindsay was up here and she's been a big part of Loretta Lynn's, racing in the women's class. She was a part.
Yep.
She did a lot with the Arena Cross Series and promotions with that and so forth, the AMSOIL Arena Cross Series, and now working with the Coaches Association, the U.S. Coaches Association. Is something that's coming together. And she said, basically for any sport to be accredited as an actual national sport, it has to have a coaching organization. That's what we got. So Checkers going to be your white flag coming out now, and Checkers will be coming out soon as the white flag is out on this one now. 9 laps down. Gordon and Fowler still about 8 seconds apart. They're cruising now at 2 minutes and 10 seconds.
Yeah, I got to tell you, it's so impressed by Gordon here today. So composed late in this thing, showing a lot of maturity, great racecraft. Fowler as well, pulling that thing together, maintaining a nice gap over Adams there. Adams putting himself into podium position. Papani right now, wow, we've seen him throw down some of the fastest laps of the day. So this thing's going to be wide open through the next 2 motos, Rodney.
For sure. And as we look at the schedule, I believe, that is, I should say, what we've got on the track right now. Mini Senior 1, 12 to 14. That's going to bring us to an intermission. We're going to have a little bit of track maintenance going on. We're going to get a chance to meet with a few folks up here in the tower. Also, I believe our friends from On Track are going to be coming up here in just a few moments. We'll be talking with a few of the students. Of course, Andrea Lee will be up here. Katie Benson, who we know, she'll be up here. Jack Chambers will be up. Colt Martin will also be up. We'll be talking with them. Talk a little bit about past and present and all that good stuff. And there, speak of the devil, she doesn't even have horns. I shouldn't call her a devil.
Saying I'm a bit of a rebel.
Rebel. The hat proves it. I like the hat. That's a rebel hat. You know, that's funny to hear the superintendent basically of On Track School say, I'm a rebel. Of course, we are at Loretta's, right?
Yes.
All righty, so we're coming around for checker flag coming up here in just a few moments. White flag is out. Going to see Landon Gordon, Luke Bowser, Drew Adams going 1, 2, and 3, barring no changes. But man, what a ride for Jeremy Fapani. You can't take anything away from that. Working his way up through the pack into a 4th place position, turning some of the fastest laps of the race while buried deep in that pack as well. Equipment going out onto the track, that usually a pretty good signal that checkers are out, and they are. Gordon, Fowler, and Adams checking in with those 10 laps in. Papani, Mortberg, Alvin Hillian in the number 6 spot. Dominic Stallings in 7th. 8th place, Nathan Abbott. 9th place, Thomas Wood. And Braden Johnson should round out your top 10, and that'll be your riders we'll find at the underneath the tent down there that will be impounded. They impound the top 10 riders. It's a pretty cool thing. I heard one of the riders this morning say, I've never even been under the tent. He won the moto, and he said, I've never even been under the tent. And, you know, and I recognize that name. We've said that name so many times, and to think that he's never even been under the tent, I'm trying to remember it off the top of my head. It was one of our mini riders.
Yeah, I think it was in the youngest 85cc division, Cannon.
Yeah.
Where he had never been under the, I'm like, is this your
Cannon
first
Hargrove?
gold? Yeah, that's right. I'm like, it's your first gold. And he's like, I've never been under the tent, which means top 10. And won the moto.
Wow,
and
that's
a tough class.
Ryan Dungey-esque almost.
That's
there.
right.
Absolutely. Cannon Hargrove with a moto win. Landon Gordon working on a moto win. He has had a fabulous year. Landon was lights out at Mammoth. He won tons of motos there. As we get ready to send it down to Jason Wigan, he's got the number 18. And Landon Gordon, take it away, Jason.
That's right. His great year continues. He's got a gold medal. Let's hear it from Landon Gordon. All right, Landon, how'd you get that one done? Tell me about it.
I got off to another great start. Fauser went by me. He was putting some laps in, and I just stayed right behind him. And he got tired, and I countered that, and I made the pass.
Anything you can even improve on? Are you thinking of stuff every time you're out there to get better as the week goes on?
Yeah, I still got some mistakes that I need to fix and better lines, but yeah.
Who do you want to thank?
I'd like to thank the Lord above for keeping me safe. My mom, dad, brother, sister, everybody watching back home. JMC Motorsports, Monster, Dunlop, Mika Metal, Startle Syndicate, Fly, 100%, Alpine Stars, Pro Circuit, everybody else, thank you.
There it is, everybody. Landon Gordon taking the win. All right, that was good stuff from Landon. We'll bring Luke Fowler on up, who took the silver medal. And Landon will get to celebrate there with his crew. They're going to get one more photo. Okay, could be a week-long championship battle here. This rider keeping himself in position for it by picking up the silver medal. Let's hear it for Luke Fowler. All right, Luke, tell me about that one.
Yeah, I had 22nd gate pick, and there wasn't any to left, so I went very inside gate. I came out of there good, got tucked up the inside, came out like third, battled with Landon for a little bit. He ended up getting me like 4 or 5 laps later. I got a little bit pumped up. We'll work on it.
Who do you want to thank?
KTM Warren Brigade, my mom, my dad, Dave Kilgore, Troy Designs, Pod knee braces, Thrill Seekers Pro Taper, Links, and Jimmy from Brap, 100%. That's right.
Okay, let's hear it for Luke Bowser, second place. All right, good job, Luke. And we will bring Drew Adams up, third place finisher. Matching up with the 3-3 on his bike. So Drew Adams to come from behind effort. We'll see what he can do in the second moto if he gets a little bit better start. Third place, Drew Adams. Did you have a bad gate pick? You had to work your way forward a little bit. How'd that go?
Yeah, I picked 25th gate pick, but I got pushed out on the start, so I had to work my way up. And I just tried to, I was really consistent in that moto. I mean, I may have had a few mistakes, but other than that, I felt like I rode pretty good.
All right, who do you want to thank, Drew?
I'd like to thank my mom, dad, Jesus for keeping me safe. Monster Energy Kawasaki, Team Green, Team Dunlop Elite, Pro Circuit, Mount Walker's Mutts, Compound for always being there when I need them, and Ivan Tedesco for helping me out leading up to this race. Maxima Oils, Canvas MX, Michael Poto, Michael Lee, they're always hooking me up with some dope stuff. Alpine Star, Ethica, and that's it.
Let's hear it for the 33, Drew Adams. Third place. We made it. We made it to intermission on our first day of racing here at the 40th annual Monster Energy AMA Amateur National Motocross Championship at Loretta's. We'll be back up at the tower in a moment.